Chapter 72. I grabbed the steel tripod stashed in the corner of the darkroom. If there's danger waiting for me on the other side of the door, at least I'm going down swinging. In the sliver of space beneath the door, I can see the shadow of feet, big feet, creeping near. I grip the tripod tighter with both hands and pull it back over my shoulder. Batter up. Whoever's out there is going to get hurt. I'm in the mood for it. Ms. Burns, are you in there? I recognize the voice. I open the door and I'm staring at Detective Frank Delmonico. How did you get in here? I walked, he answers sardonically. There's not even the hint of an apology from him. You think maybe I flew in an open window? The cocky line works. I'm speechless. Your door was open, he says. I knocked, and I guess you didn't hear me, huh? Now, if you're done with your third degree, it's my turn to ask a few questions. Delmonico removes the same pen and tattered notebook from inside the same dark gray suit. I smell his aftershave or whatever it is, and tobacco. Even more than before, the detective gives me the creeps. This is happening too fast and too late, I think. It's near midnight. What is this guy doing in my apartment? I told you I'd answer any questions, but does it have to be now? I ask. Yes. Why? 'Cause I don't think you've been leveling with me, he says, and I've got a problem with that. In light of his tone, that's the understatement of the year. Be careful, Chris. All right, how can I help you? I don't know anything about those murders, I blurt out. The morning I first saw you outside the Falcon Hotel, why were you taking so many pictures? He asks, basically ignoring what I just said to him. I'm into photography. Is it your profession? Hopefully one day. I'm up for an important gallery showing. I have an agent you could talk to if you want. Maybe tomorrow. He peers over my shoulder. Is that your darkroom? Yes. Mind if I take a look? Delmonico says, and he takes a step forward. I shift my feet to block the way. Actually, I do. He smirks. Are you hiding something from me? Maybe the pictures you took at the hotel? Or is it something else you don't want me to see? No, my photographs are personal, that's all. Duly noted, he says. Then Delmonico pushes past me, right into my darkroom. Chapter 73. Hey, what are you doing? How dare you? Delmonico stops in the middle of my darkroom, staring left and right. My pictures are everywhere. They're like wallpaper. He seems either impressed or overwhelmed by what he sees. My, he mutters, such a busy girl. I didn't give you permission to be in here, I snap. He turns to me, his dark eyes boring into my head. If you'd like, I can come back with a search warrant and turn this entire apartment upside down. Do you want that? Or I could forget about the search warrant and toss your place anyway. You know the good cop, bad cop routine? I'm the bad cop, Kristen. You're saying I'm a murder suspect? What I'm saying is that you're not cooperating with a murder investigation. You can't be serious. He takes a step toward me. He's nearly twice my size. In case you conveniently forgot, Ms. Burns, people died that morning, 4 of them. I know that. I was there. And you were acting rather strange, as I recall. I was upset. I still am, Buster. Yet, you said you didn't know any of them. I was upset, I told you that. They were sitting out there on the sidewalk, dead. But you thought one of them was still alive. That's what you told me anyway. No, what I thought was, yes, but I didn't actually. The more I hesitate, the harder the detective looks at me. I know I'm not making total sense. Worse, I'm digging a deep hole for myself. Which is it? He asks. Did you or did you not see a dead person come back to life? This is ridiculous. You know I had nothing to do with those murders. You're just an innocent bystander, right? Yes. He laughs in my face. Is that really what you think you are, innocent? So virtuous that I have some nerve even talking to you. I don't know what you're implying, but I don't like it. I'm done answering your questions. You can leave. Delmonico nods, tucking his notepad and pen back into his pocket. Thank goodness he's going. No, he's just freeing up his hands. In a blur, he grabs my shoulder, slamming me against the wall. I hit hard and pictures go flying, the pain shooting up my spine. I can't believe he just did that. Listen to me. Listen to the bad cop, he says, breathing fire. You're not done with anything until I say you are. You're wondering whether you're a murder suspect? Yes, you're a murder suspect, Miss Burns, for starters. I can't talk. I'm terrified. You really think you're hot shit, don't you? A real independent woman, he says. Well, guess what? It's only a matter of time before I take you down, 'cause you are involved with those 4 murders, that much I know. I open my mouth, fighting first for air, then words. You're hurting me, I manage. He shakes his head. You don't know the meaning of hurt, but you will. The back of one of his hands slowly drifts down from my neck and across my chest. This is really happening. What's he going to do now? Take me in? Arrest me for murders I didn't commit? His hand stops just above my breast. It's right over my heart, which is beating wildly. Do you feel that? He says. He leans in, his eyes mere inches from mine. He doesn't blink, not once. When you think of me, you remember that fear. He pulls back, letting go of me. I start trembling as he walks to the door and turns around. I know where you live, Miss Burns, he says, and I know what you did at the Falcon Hotel. Both times you were there. 11. Chapter 74. If there is such a thing as a very bad, very good thing, then that's what I do the next day. Penley is going to be gone all day at some fancy-schmancy kitchen tour out in Southampton, so she says anyway. So instead of taking the kids to school, I call there to say they have the flu, and then we play hooky. I really feel that Dakota and Sean need this, especially Dakota, and so do I. First things first, we have a total pig-out breakfast at Sarah Beth's, our favorite restaurant in all of New York. Blueberry and chocolate chip pancakes with loads of syrup for everybody. Then we head off to Central Park with only one purpose in mind, to get absolutely filthy dirty, to be real kids for a change, to have a blast. For 3 hours, we run and jump and scream our brains out, play tag, play catch, play keep away, and I don't have a single crazy thought. Don't smell anything bad. Don't even see any dead people. We end up at a little concrete playground with swings and slides, and Dakota and Sean are grimy dirty, which I love, and they love too. In fact, I've never seen such big smiles on either of their faces. Of course, I have to take photographs of the kids. Dozens and dozens of beautiful shots. So cute, so picture perfect. And then disaster strikes. Sean catches his bright red Ked sneaker on the ladder at the top of the slide, and he literally goes head over heels. I watch, and I can't believe what I'm seeing as he tumbles way too fast, then hits the pavement with his face. I swear, with his forehead. 10 minutes later, we're at the emergency room at Lenox Hill, and amazingly, miraculously, Sean is totally okay and doesn't even need a stitch. He even gets a lollipop, and so does Dakota. It's quiet in the cab from Lenox Hill going home, and then Dakota leans into me and puts her head on my shoulder. I wish I could take a picture of the two of us. It's all right, Miss Kristen, it's all right, she says. We won't tell. Promise, says Sean, we won't tell. We love you, Miss Kristen. And I love these kids so much. I just love Dakota and Sean to death. Who wouldn't? I also feel guilty, and I don't know how to get away from that. Not about playing hooky for one stupid day, which was great, but about everything else, and I mean everything else. Chapter 75. Hell, I should just toss my alarm clock out the window. What's that joke Sean likes to tell about seeing time fly? Really, what's the point of an alarm clock when I've got this dreaded dream to wake me every morning? I get the feeling it's going to be with me for an awfully long time, like forever. Same for all the other bizarre stuff filling my days, and all I can do is wonder, can I really handle this? Can I get on with my life, such as it is? Well, damn it, I'm going to try, with a little help from my friends. Beth and Connie conference call me on my cell phone minutes after I drop off Dakota and Sean at school. They want to take me to lunch and won't take no for an answer. Of course, what they really want to do is see if I'm okay or completely mashed potatoes. The social worker in Connie undoubtedly has her hyper-concerned after my surprise sleepover come meltdown at her apartment. Naturally, Beth heard all about it. Imagine if I tell them everything that's occurred since. Only that's not going to happen. That monster Delmonico has me scared silent about everything. I can still feel his grip on my neck, the look in his eyes. Anyway, it's with an all's well attitude that I walk into the Comfort Diner. How fitting. On 45th Street between 2nd and 3rd. Connie and Beth are already seated at a table by the window, and I make sure to greet them with a healthy smile. Unfortunately, the rest of my body didn't get the memo. You look like shit, Chris, says Beth almost immediately. Connie rolls her eyes while I enjoy a much-needed laugh. There's Blunt, and then there's Beth. No wonder she has such a hard time finding acting work. She once told Martin Scorsese that he needed to trim those caterpillars above his eyes. You do look a bit tired, Kristen, says Connie, trying to be a little more diplomatic and gentle. Have you been getting enough sleep? I certainly got plenty at your place the other night, I say. Until you woke up screaming like my apartment was in a wing at Bellevue, she points out, as if I need to be reminded. Have you been to see a doctor? Asks Beth. Maybe you've got a virus. And what about seeing your psychiatrist again? Says Connie in tow. Have you given that any more thought? Call me crazy, but I think I'm done with psychiatrists. I look at the two of them, their faces full of genuine concern. Listen, I know you guys are trying to help, and I appreciate it. I really do. But right now, the best thing for me is to have a fun lunch with my girlfriends. Can we do that, do you think? They both nod, getting the point. I need to be distracted, not prodded. So they dig deep into their daily lives and share the best stories they can think of. Connie kicks things off by telling us about the guy from her office who got caught making photocopies of his penis. I don't believe her, but she swears it's true. I bet he was using the enlarge button, quips Beth. We laugh and order, and by the time our food arrives, the conversation has made its way around to my job and the wonderful Penley. Let me guess, says Beth, while we're stuffing our faces, the pencil's at the gym, burning off her last remaining calorie. She definitely is a gym rat, I say, though right now she's out in Greenwich for some charity lunch. You know, we really shouldn't meet her, says Connie. Beth raises a brow. Why on earth would we want to do that? Yeah, you're probably right. What do you think, Chris? I think she's better left to your imagination, I say with a chuckle. Gosh, that feels good. Connie smiles and digs back into her chef salad. I'm reaching for my iced tea when Beth starts to giggle. She's looking out the window. Check out that serious PDA going on across the street, she says, pointing. Connie and I follow her finger to see a man and a woman engaged in a serious lip lock right under a don't walk sign. There's not an inch of daylight between them as their public display of affection seems to last forever. Eventually, the woman pulls back, playfully pushing the man while glancing about as though to see if anyone's watching. Oh my gosh, I sputter. Connie and Beth turn to me in unison. What is it? Asks Connie. That's Penley. Are you serious, Chris? You're joking, right? Tell me you're joking. I thought you said she was out in Greenwich, says Beth. I know, that's what she told me. The three of us look back out the window. The man is whispering something in Penley's ear. Sweet nothings, it appears. Wow, says Beth. You never mentioned how good-looking her husband is. You're right, I say, only that's not her husband. Chapter 76. I jump up from my chair, jolting the table and nearly knocking over my iced tea. I sprint for the door with a hurry goodbye to my friends. Chris, wait! I hear Connie call, but I don't. I can't. This could be important, a key to unraveling everything. Spilling out of the restaurant, I immediately look across the street. The "Don't Walk" sign now reads "Walk," and Penley's gone. So is Stephen, tall, dark, and handsome Stephen, her lover from the look of it. Quickly glancing around, I spot the couple farther down the sidewalk. Before I know it, I'm following them. I can't believe this. The plot, as they say, is thickening. Not only is Penley having an affair, the guy is someone she set me up with as a blind date. But for all my disbelief, there's something else. Relief. I've been dragging a full measure of guilt like a heavy suitcase since the first day Michael, quote-unquote married man, and I got together. But now, seeing Penley cheating on him, suddenly I don't feel so bad. Yeah, I know, 2 wrongs don't exactly make it right. It simply makes it a little easier. I continue to follow Stephen and Penley. They're not arm in arm or holding hands, and to the passerby, they could just as easily be friends as lovers. That is, until they reach another "Don't Walk" sign. It's as if something comes over them, or more specifically, over Stephen. As they stand waiting at the corner, he can't take his hands or lips off her. Penley doesn't stop him, but I can tell she's aware they're out in public. She has a lot of friends in the city, and though they're mixed in with about 8 million strangers, one can't be too careful. There's no telling when someone she knows might see her, like me. The walk sign flashes, and the makeout session gives way to their continuing stroll. I fall right in step while confronting my next emotion, fear. There's no way Penley and Stephen only started seeing each other in the past couple of days. And that can mean only one thing. She knows. Something, at least. If Penley doesn't know for sure about Michael and me, she at least suspects. What else could explain Stephen's dinner talk about being involved with someone married? Was he trying to get her to help her get a confession from me, or was it all about screwing with my mind? Either way, Penley's setting me up with Stephen was truly a setup, and I didn't see it. This changes everything. The two of them come to a stop at the next corner, and Stephen picks up where he left off with more tonsil hockey and some pretty serious groping. Penley's going at it now, too. They really ought to get a room. I stand on the sidewalk a half block behind them and miles away from being able to collect all my thoughts and emotions about this new development. There's so much to think about. There's so many angles to consider. That's when I realize what I should be doing. Don't think, just shoot. I reach for my camera. If I'm quick enough, I'll get them tongue kissing before the light changes. Only I don't feel anything where I'm reaching. No camera, no shoulder bag. I forgot to grab it when I bolted out of the comfort diner. Should fire and save matches, I think. And I remember who used to say that. My dead father. Chapter 77. What? Says Michael. I start to repeat myself, but he heard me the first time. He just can't believe it. Or is it me he can't believe? We're standing before floor-to-ceiling windows in the living room of the Wall Street apartment his company provides for out-of-town VIPs. Apparently there are a lot of them because we've only been able to meet here a few times. Those were romantic interludes, however, and something tells me there'll be a lot less sex tonight. Are you sure it was Penley? Michael asks. This isn't just a fantasy you're having? I'm positive I saw it with my own eyes. I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. Less than 48 hours ago, he was rescuing me from a Brooklyn hospital before they could check me into a padded room. Now this bombshell. Maybe I'd be a little skeptical too, especially when I tell Michael that I didn't have my camera with me. He knows I practically sleep with it. So with no pictures, no proof, all I've got is my word and his trust in me. And you're sure it was the same guy she set you up with? He asks. I nod. Yes, it was that cute guy, Stephen. That would mean exactly, I say. But how could she know? We've been careful. I shoot him a dubious look. I distinctly recall the Maytag Club, among other things. Still, I'd know if she knew. Penley would be trying to kill me, not playing games. He begins to pace, thinking out loud. His neck and face are getting very red. She sent this guy out to dinner with you on a reconnaissance mission? I mean, the woman has balls, but we're talking King Kong cojones here. It doesn't seem so crazy if she only suspected we were involved. Trust me, he says, what you're telling me is crazy no matter how you slice it. The word seems to hang in the air, right above my head. Crazy. Does he think that's what I am? Also, he's starting to get very pissed, maybe even at me. I do not need one of your meltdowns here, Michael. You don't believe me, do you? I say. Michael abruptly stops pacing. He comes over and takes me in his arms. Of course I believe you, he says. He tacks on a loving squeeze lest there be any doubt. But there is doubt. I can hear it in his voice. I see it in his eyes. He's not really sure what to think. Of all the ways I thought he might react to the news, uncertainty wasn't in the mix. I could understand his anger and even resentment. I could tolerate a twinge of jealousy. No man likes to share a woman, regardless of whether he loves her. Nonetheless, when the emotional dust settled, what I hoped for from Michael was that he'd see this the same way I now do, as an opportunity. No longer the only adulterer in his marriage, he won't have to worry about being raked over the coals in a divorce settlement. Once and for all, he can do what I've always wanted him to do. Dump Penley. So now what, I ask. I want to sleep on it, he says. He stares at me for a moment. You're absolutely sure it was her, though, right, Chris? You're certain? Yes, I answer. I saw them. I'm sure of it. At least I think I am. Chapter 78. All night I toss and turn thinking about Penley and Stephen and whether Michael believes me, or for that matter, whether I believe me. The only silver lining is that I'm spared again from the dream when morning arrives. If only I could figure out how to live the rest of my life without sleep, I'd be all set. When I arrive for work, Penley does a double take. You forgot what day it is, didn't you? She says. I smack my forehead. You're right, I did. Once every 2 weeks, Penley steps in for me and walks Dakota and Sean to school. I get the morning off. Michael calls it her guilt trip, but I don't think guilt has anything to do with it. If it did, it would mean she's aware of what a bad mother she is, and about that, she's definitely clueless. Rather, in her oh so twisted mind, Penley probably sees subbing for me as a required sacrifice. Community service with her children. Well, since you're here, says Penley, the cheese cushions for the patio need to be brought out for the summer. Make sure you thoroughly clean the furniture first, okay? No problem, I say. And the cushions, of course. Sure thing. She folds her arms across her Chanel gym outfit, which costs more than a month of my salary. After I drop off the kids, I'm going for a workout. I should be home by lunch, though. That reminds me, I say, how was your charity luncheon out in Greenwich yesterday? I watch her carefully, hoping Penley flinches or blinks or stammers, something that gives her away. Instead, she's seamless. Oh, you know how those things are. You've been to one, you've been to them all. I bet. Penley heads for her bedroom to continue getting ready, and I check on Dakota and Sean in the kitchen where they're finishing up their breakfast. Their mother microwaves a mean bowl of instant oatmeal. Hi, Miss Kristen, they giddily say in unison. They're surprised to see me, and happy. What are you doing here? Asks Sean. Yeah, I thought it was Mommy's day to take us to school, says Dakota. It is, honey. Silly me, I forgot. But you never forget, she says. Never, ever, adds Sean. I look at them both and smile. Kids are so smart. They're right. I didn't forget, not by a long shot, with a zoom lens. Chapter 79. 10 minutes later, I follow Penley and the kids to school, hopefully at a safe distance. If any one of them spots me, I'm dead. Let me change that to toast. For maybe the 10th time, I checked to see that my camera is tucked safely in my shoulder bag and that the bag is actually by my side. Up ahead, Penley, Dakota, and Sean are just past halfway to Preston Academy. It truly is a perfect opportunity for a mother to spend some quality time with her kids. Too bad Penley's gabbing away on her cell phone, paying no attention whatsoever to Sean and Dakota. Not that I mind. It keeps her distracted. It keeps her from looking over her shoulder. With each step in their shadows, I can't help thinking how strange this feels. Almost like an out-of-body experience. Most every morning, that's me up there with Dakota and Sean. To see someone else in my place makes me realize even more how important those kids are to me. I always want to be there for them. I also know it would be selfish and wrong of me to want this if Penley was any kind of a decent mom. We cover another block heading south, and yet again I check to make sure I've got my camera. Minutes later, I duck into a phone kiosk and watch Penley in front of the school's gates as she practically shoos Dakota and Sean away. Amazingly, she's still on her cell. Is she talking to Steven? Is he meeting her at the gym? Excuse me, are you using that phone, I hear? The man's voice startles me. Does it sound familiar? Actually, yes. I turn around and see a guy in baggy jeans and a Gap t-shirt. Damn it, I know him. I haven't seen this guy since when we were in high school together. I have no idea what happened to him after high school, but here he is, wandering into my nightmare. I point at the phone. I don't think anyone's using it. I say, "You're Harvey, right? From Concord?" He stares at the frayed wire jutting from the receiver like a rat's tail. "There's a call coming for you, Kristen," he says. Matter of fact, just like that. Then the phone rings and I literally jump, but I sure don't answer it. "Yeah, I'm Harvey," he says. Then he shuffles off. "And let me guess," I say to him, "you're Dad, right?" But Harvey doesn't bother to answer. I immediately turn back to Penley, standing in front of the school, only she's not there. Oh, great. My head turns like one of those automatic sprinklers. Not until my second 360 do I spot her humping down Madison. Her walk gives her away. "I'm better than you," it says with each stride, "so get out of my way." I hurry across the street, falling in behind her again. Now that the kids are gone, she's off the phone. I'm shielded by the crowded sidewalk, the morning rush hour traffic, but I'm careful not to get too close. We head south a few more blocks, and I try to remember what gym she belongs to. Is it Reebok? Equinox? Did she ever even tell me? Anyway, I'll find out soon enough. If I know Penley, it can't be too much farther, otherwise I should have cabbed it for sure. My eyes remain trained on her while my mind looks ahead. One kiss, that's all I need. A suggestive embrace would do the job, but a kiss, that would be the money shot. That's assuming Steven's even there. She told me the gym is where they met. Then again, she also said he and I would make a nice couple. Ha. Maybe this is nothing more than wild goose chase, and maybe it isn't. I don't care. I'm determined to get the proof I need, that Michael needs, if it's there to get. Then why am I starting to feel so uneasy about this? There's a hollow forming in my stomach, and with each step, it grows. It's not nerves or nausea. It's something different, and this isn't the first time I felt it. Streets, time, everything seems a blur to me. I'm so preoccupied with the feeling, I almost miss Penley's arrival at her gym. I focus my eyes and watch her walk in. At that exact moment, the feeling takes over, consuming me. I know what it is. Dread. And I know when I last felt it too. Here, right outside Penley's quote-unquote gym, otherwise known as the Falcon Hotel.